Hi, Joe Kehrig with the Kehrig Real Estate Team, and this is your San Ramon Valley update. What we're going to talk about today, well, what's on everyone's mind, the election. And does the election really slow down the real estate market? Here's one thing I can tell you for sure. 50% of you guys aren't happy right now. And that's just how any election is going to be, including, a lot of people, half people are excited, half the people, are not happy with the elections. But does it really affect the real estate market? Well, I can tell you that the couple weeks before the election, the market definitely settled down because just like the tragedy of 9/11 or COVID, people are afraid of uncertainty. So when they're uncertain, they pull back. So now that the election is over, you're going to see the market start to take off again and get a little bit more active as it normally gets during November and December, but we've definitely seen a pause in the market. So, when you look at the next slide, you can see the seasonal drop in sales sharper in presidential election years. So obviously during this time of year, the market would normally drop about 9.8%. And during presidential years, going all the way back to 1963, it drops like 15%, so almost double. And again, that's because of the uncertainty that people are just holding back and waiting to see what happens. So what happens though after we get a couple weeks, after the election and then going into 2025, what do we expect? Well, do more homes sell after election? Well, look at this. Home sales went up 9 of the last 11 presidential elections. Matter of fact, the last time it went down was after 1988, and as you know, we had the dot-com bust. And so literally, when you look at what the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elections, or 9 of the last 11, the real estate market, home sales went up after the election. And you can really expect the same thing to happen, this year. But what happens to prices after an election? Well, here you go. 7 of the last 8 presidential elections, including going back to 2013, median home prices went up. So home prices went up after the election. So you literally have in 9 out of the last 11 elections, the market went up, and 7 of the 8 prices went up. Because what happens, it does stall during the election time, but after the election, people realize that, okay, well, it's a presidential election, but their life isn't that much directly affected, immediately. So again, people come back out to the market. And you can expect the same thing this year because we're still dealing with a lack of inventory. Yeah, there are 36% more homes. Actually, I think it's the latest number is 39% more homes on the market than there was a year ago, but still 32% less than there was during the last, i.e. normal years, 2018 and 19. And look at this, 2025 home price forecast all the way through, every single one, all the way from Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, the MBA, the NAR, all expect prices to go up. It averages like 2.6%, but most of them are in the 3 to 4% range. And you're going to see the same thing, because when you look at the update, for the last week, obviously, we're still dealing with the lack of homes on the market comparatively, like we said a couple years ago. So let's look at the San Ramon market. You can see traditionally during this time of year, inventory's actually been going up, which was unusual. Normally inventory would be going down, but now we're starting to see that. So almost across the board, you're seeing inventory go down. And pendings are staying pretty consistent. So less inventory in San Ramon, more pendings. Exactly the same in the Danville market. Less active listings and more pendings. And you're going to see more of that because here's what happens. Normally the spring is very hot. The market's very active, and you're going to see the same thing because what we're going to see is less and less and less homes that go on the market during, from Thanksgiving all the way through the holidays. Then buyers start to come out in February and there's not any inventory. So there's 3 buyers for every 1 home. So this is what we're starting to see. Inventory has definitely been climbing, and certainly, a couple weeks ago it continued to climb because there wasn't a lot of buyers out there. But you can see that now inventory is going to start going down, and it's going to go down throughout the rest of the year. And then when the buyers start coming out, hopefully the interest rates are reduced. We're going to see the market pick back up. And that's why we're expecting appreciation during 2025. That's why when we talk about, if you're a buyer, I'd be out there buying right now because there's inventory to choose from and the prices are a little soft. People are negotiating. But the minute interest rates go down a little bit, remember we talked about it a few weeks ago, when interest rates go down the last 30 years, prices have gone up. And when inventory goes down, obviously prices go up. So interest rates go down, more buyers hit the market, it's going to lower the inventory, supply and demand is going to favor the sellers. So if I was a buyer, I'd be out there looking right now. You can see the same thing in the Alamo market. Pendings went down a little bit, but actives really dropped down also. And you're going to see that consistently. You see the same thing in the Dublin market where basically, the pending sales went up and active properties went down. So what's the bottom line? Bottom line is elections do slow down the market, and we've seen the couple weeks before the election, we definitely saw a slowdown in the market. Inventory continued to rise. Now that the election is over, people will realize it doesn't really affect their day-to-day life that much. And the buyers, as interest rates go down, you're going to see the buyers come out in the market, and you're going to see less homes coming on the market and more homes being purchased. So when you're sitting there in February as a buyer, you're going to have less homes on the market and more competition. That's why I say if you're a buyer, you should be out there looking right now. Obviously, every home, every neighborhood is a little bit different. If you want any expert help, obviously you can reach out. And then you notice with our latest chart, everything is still hanging around 100% as far as asking prices, where homes are selling. So the market is still strong. It really is, like we talk about, a tale of two markets. If the home is compelling and it's fixed up and it's priced right, it's selling. If it's not selling. So pricing a home is so important. Making sure it's in showable condition is so important. So if you have any questions, even if you're starting to prep, we're meeting a lot of people right now where we're not talking about putting their homes on the market till February, but we're starting to prep them, getting them ready, and then they can enjoy them over the holidays. And obviously, it's going to be a great time for sellers. Maybe less inventory for the buyers as we see happening. That will happen through the rest of the year. If you just want to get an idea, if you just want to sit down and look at a plan, give me a call, Joe Kehrig, the Kehrig Real Estate Team, 925-487-6838, or drop me an email, joe@kehrigteam.com. Or to learn more about the Kehrig Team, visit our website, www.kehrigteam.com. The next couple weeks after the election is going to be very fluid, so make sure you tune in. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.